And welcome to the super fun, awesome, happy time pedal and yet again plugin show. My name is Gabor and today I'm looking at this. So this is the all-new Roots version 2, very, very fluffy plugin by the good folks at ML Sound Lab. Hi to Kai and everyone. Thank you so much for sending this to me. So this is sponsored. This was given to me by the good folks at ML Sound Lab. So if you've checked out their stuff before, they had a plugin suite called Roots, which was is sort of the signature series by fellow YouTuber Ryan Bruce, or Fluff, Ryan Fluff Bruce. And yeah, I thought I'd check out the version 2 today. So they've updated it, they've added their, or put in their new spin with their Warner sound engine, which is in all the latest plugins, sort of they're, according to them, the most authentic sounding and feeling sound engines they've got. And yeah, so they've got these 4 amps. You've got the 5034 Fluff. You've got the 5151 Fluff. You've got the Freeman Fluff. And you've got the Mega Fluff. So you've got those 4 amps. Hang on, it was on noon, wasn't it? That was sort of the default. Those 4 amps with, I think, extra pedals, the whole new 3D cap thing they're doing, MIDI, all that sort of stuff. And so we'll have a quick look at that today. Now, my setup for today is I'm using this Yamaha Revstar RSS02T in Sunset Burst with P90s. I thought if you watch probably Fluff's video on that, he will use humbucker guitars and go very chugga chugga. I'll just sort of generally look at it overall. Does it go clean? Does it not go clean? You know, what can you kind of do with it? And so I'm just looking at it as an overall, just a plug-in for the everyday guitar player, not just heavy chugga chugga guys. Okay, so this goes via guitar. I might use heavy chugga chugga guitars later on too, but we'll see. This goes via a Peterson Strobostomp HD tuner that's always on my desk here, straight into the front of my Audient ID44 interface. It goes into the DI input up the front. I did a video, you can watch it here, and I'll link to it down below as well, about impedance mismatches and all that sort of stuff. None of it is really wrong, but sometimes people say it sounds, when they plug it in, it sounds very different to the way it sounds in my videos. So it's just different inputs and different impedances will make a drastic difference. Different interface preamps and all that will make a drastic difference too, but I mean, that's a different story. From that, it then goes straight into Logic. So no amps, nothing used. And then I'm just hearing it through my studio monitors, Yamaha studio monitors I've got here. Now, with the plugin turned off, this is just a straight dry signal that goes into the computer. Nothing very fancy. Now, if I turn the plugin on, this is the default setting. It's loud and it sounds like this. Lots of gain, but tons of note definition too. So let's just have a quick look at it. So it's, I mean, we all know what it's based on. We've got, and I think it's pretty much the same with all the amps. Yeah, the controls, I'm pretty sure, are all the same. Yeah, it looks like it. So we basically got an input gain, which is, I mean, you can technically with this, it's like rolling back the volume on the guitar. Clean it up a little bit. You can also use it kind of like as a boom. If you double click it, it sits in the middle. It's basically input gain into the plugin. I don't think it really necessarily does anything to the tone. It just gives you more saturation, less saturation. Then you've got the actual amp stuff. You've got gain, you've got low, mids and highs, you've got presence, volume and a plug-in output. So that's the overall output. Again, I don't think it does anything to the tone. It just means you can push the channel in your DAW more or less if it gets a bit loud. Now, There's also pedal board, and that's a very handy thing when you have an amp like that. About there somewhere. With a noise gate compressor, drive, chorus, delay, and reverb. You also have cabinets, which is their whole 3D thing where you can move them left and right, back and forward. You can turn them as well. You can do all this different stuff. It comes with 3 IRs, or 3 types of speakers, a mega oversized Freeman V30 and a Freeman M25, or you can load your own IRs, which I won't do in this case. Oh, you've got a tuner as well. You've got microphones for each, so you've got a dynamic 57, ribbon 121, ribbon 160, dynamic 421, and dynamic 57 for each. And then you've got 2 of them, and you've got a mix control, so you can blend, you know, one more than the other, so you can get a mix of the 2. This goes back to your amp. You've got super duper MIDI implementation as well. So I guess if you use this live, for example, with you know, a laptop, you can pretty much any parameter you can control via MIDI. Also for recording, very handy stuff, and your license manager in the end. Up here, you switch between the different amps, and you've got the different presets for each amp. So you go to 51 Fluff, and then you've got all those presets here. And if you press save, you save your own presets into that. So that's all that. So let's have a look at, let's start off with the 5034. Yeah, and just see what kind of sounds we can get. So I've got a little bit of noise gate here, or quite a lot of noise gate, just to get rid of the noise. So let's see, if I turn the gain right down, does it go clean? So you can't have it completely off. Now if I turn the gain and the input down, does it go clean? Okay, let's turn the noise gate off. I'm sure that's something that everyone wants to know. It doesn't go very clean, but you can go kind of clean. Now let's see how much gain we can get. Or let's just go up in increments. I mean, that's a lot of gain in this amp. I mean, I'm extra noisy because of the P90s. Tons of gain. And I'm guessing, because there's 3 on here, it's based on channel 3 of an amp that looks a lot like this. And I'm guessing 5034, because it's probably the EL34 version of that amp, because you get the 6L6 and EL34 version. I'm going to say this is the EL34 version of that amp, channel 3. That's what it's based on. Now the volume, I guess, is the like master volume on the amp, which would boost the power amp. So I'm guessing if I crank that, it fattens the sound up. Kind of blows that out a little bit if you want, but if you want fat lead sound, that's not a bad thing to do. But if you want definition, turn the volume down a bit, or sort of meet some halfway up. Add a little bit of delay. Sounds great. Now, if you want, for whatever reason, more, I'm guessing this is a TS style thing. Well, let's send a drive down, level up. It tightens it up quite a bit. But it, ooh. Ooh. Even with the noise getting all the way up with P90s. It's noisy, but I'm guessing the real amp would be that noisy as well, so it sounds great. I mean, that's a great sounding, heavy distorted amp. So, I mean, that's the 5034. Next, 5151 Fluff. Let's check that. Is everything off? Did I turn everything off here? Noise gate's on. Nah, let's leave the noise gate on. Only about there somewhere. Okay. Now let's see again. Does this go clean? This is what everyone wants to know. Everyone's on the edge of their seat. Let's turn the noise gate off. Input all the way down, gain all the way down. But I mean, I don't think it's meant to go clean. Is this chunkier sounds? Again, they're all super high gain. I mean, there is no low gain on any of these really. Sounds great again. I mean, To it's gonna drive off to see. I think airport on its own sounds fantastic. I think that sounds great. I mean, that's the 5151. Oh, I said the wrong thing. Fluff. Freeman Fluff. Oh, now does this go clean? Actually, let's keep that on full. That's not what we're here for, is it? We want more. So let's check the amp out. It's sort of about there with Cat. So to me, that's sort of the thinnest sounding amp so far. Let's maybe quickly check out the cabinet and see if we can change something there. So we've got the mega oversize and a Freeman M25. Let's change speakers. I probably like the mega oversized a bit. So probably out of those I like the 121 the best. Just adds a bit of fullness to it. To me, that sounds a little bit better. I mean, you can play around with lots of different combinations, put your own eyes in it, but I mean, I don't want the video to be too long, but it's almost a bit too much. That drive. It's almost a bit too much with that drive. I think that has its sound. It was a bit thin before, but with a different cabinet and mic thing, it sounds really good actually. That's probably so far my favorite. It has the most articulation, I find. That's what I look for anyway. I like when you have lots of distortion and you have lots of articulation. You can hear every note. I mean, that's a Freeman Fluff. Lastly, let's quickly have a look at the Mega Fluff. So, I mean, we all know what that's based on. They're definitely not geared for low gain. That sounds pretty cool. Let's quickly get a different guitar for lower tunings. All right, so this is an old Carvin of mine, which now would be called Kiesel, which has some Haven pickups, and they're basically Omniac pickups. They're one of the earlier versions of the Omniac, Haven Omniac passive pickups in it, and it's in drop C tuning, this guitar. so that's it. That's the Roots version 2 plugin by the good folks at ML Sound Lab. Big thank you to ML Sound Lab, Kai, and everyone there for sending this out to us. If there's anything in particular you want me to do with this plugin, compare it to anything, let me know in the comments below. And if you have made it this far into the video and you're not subscribed, please make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell as well, and maybe give us a like. But 90% of all our viewers are not subscribed, so it definitely helps if you do subscribe. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.